Reborn Stories presents 10-minute summary of The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. Every one of us carries a mountain inside, not a mountain made of rock or ice or earth, but a mountain shaped from the parts of ourselves we've never fully understood. It grows from old wounds, from fears we haven't outgrown, from patterns we repeat without meaning to. Some days it feels invisible, quiet, distant. Other days, it rises like a shadow in front of us, blocking our view of the life we want. And yet, Brianna Wiest reminds us of a truth we often ignore. The mountain is not your enemy. The mountain is your teacher, and ultimately, the mountain is you. Tonight, let's walk together. Not up a trail of stone, but through the inner world where real change begins. Let this be a journey. Let this be a mirror. Let this be a moment where you finally understand that nothing in your life is against you. Everything is guiding you toward who you're meant to be. Take a breath, settle your mind, and step with me into your own mountain. Most people think their biggest struggles live outside of them. We blame the job. We blame the relationship. We blame the circumstances that didn't go our way. But look closer, and you'll find that the true obstacles live much deeper, in the beliefs we inherited, in the feelings we never learned to name, in the quiet pain we carried long after childhood ended. This is where the mountain begins. Not as an enemy, but as a protector. A part of you that once learned the only way to stay safe was to stay small. You aren't sabotaging yourself because you're weak. You're sabotaging yourself because once, long ago, it was safer not to grow. The mountain rises from the places where the past still whispers louder than the future. Picture a traveler standing at the base of a mountain. This traveler desperately wants to reach the top, to live a life that finally feels like theirs. But every time they take a step forward, something inside pulls them back. A voice that says, "Don't go, it's too high, you won't make it." That voice is not cruelty. It's fear dressed in concern. It's the old self trying to protect its familiar world. Wiest explains that self-sabotage is the mind choosing what is familiar over what is possible. It's staying in a comfort zone even when that comfort zone is painful. It's choosing chaos because calm feels suspicious. It's rejecting love because love feels unfamiliar. Self-sabotage is simply the traveler trying to climb the mountain while dragging the weight of their old identity. And before the traveler can rise, they must understand the weight they're carrying. Somewhere inside, beneath layers of logic and adulthood, there lives a wound you've been trying not to look at. Maybe it was the moment you felt invisible as a child. Maybe it was the years you learned to pretend your needs didn't matter. Maybe it was heartbreak that taught you love was unsafe. We all have our story. We all have our wound. And that wound becomes the foundation of the mountain. So when life presents you with something new, a good relationship, a promising opportunity, a chance at a better life, your old wound whispers, "This is too dangerous. Turn back." Your triggers are not signs of weakness. They are invitations. They point toward the part of you that is asking to be healed. Every time you feel fear, anger, insecurity, or jealousy, your inner world is saying, "Look here. This is where the mountain begins." There comes a moment in everyone's life when the mountain no longer allows you to stay where you are. It might be the collapse of a relationship you thought would last forever. It might be the sudden exhaustion from living a life that no longer fits you. It might be waking up one morning and realizing you don't recognize the person you've become. This moment feels like breakdown, but really, it's breakthrough. Your soul knows when it's time to grow. And when you refuse to climb, life will shake the ground until you move. The traveler at the base of the mountain feels this too. One day, the world around them becomes too small. Every direction feels wrong except upward. That moment, the moment where you say, "I can't stay like this anymore," that is the true beginning of your transformation. The mountain has called you. Now you must answer. Climbing the mountain is not a physical act. It is emotional work. It is inner excavation. You climb by questioning your reactions, by listening when you feel triggered, by asking, "What is this emotion trying to teach me?" Fear might show you where you need courage. Anger might show you where your boundaries are missing. Sadness might show you the weight you've been carrying. Envy might show you a part of yourself you have not yet stepped into. Growth is not about forcing yourself to feel positive. Growth is the slow, patient acceptance of your own inner landscape. Every emotion you face, every truth you acknowledge, every limit you challenge, lifts you one step higher up the mountain. This is where the traveler discovers that the mountain is not made of stone after all. It is made of layers of their own story, stories they are finally learning to rewrite. As the traveler rises, something begins to shift. Not outside, but within. They begin to move differently, with more intention, more clarity, more honesty. They start choosing what aligns with the life they want, not the life they fear. This is identity work. This is the moment where you stop saying, "I am broken," and start saying, "I am becoming." Wiest explains that real transformation is not a grand event. It's the gentle, persistent act of behaving like your future self before you feel ready. You speak more kindly to yourself. You create habits that reflect the life you want. You choose peace over chaos. You choose truth over avoidance. You choose expansion over fear. The mountain doesn't get smaller. You simply get stronger. And somewhere along the climb, you realize something important. You are no longer trying to escape your past. You are walking toward your future. At the top of the mountain, there is no cheering crowd, no fireworks, no dramatic moment of triumph. There is only clarity. A quiet understanding that the person who began the journey is not the same person who stands here now. You look back and see how far you've come. The fears you faced, the patterns you broke, the identity you shed, the courage you grew. You realize that the mountain never stood in your way. It stood in your reflection. The climb didn't change the mountain. It changed you. Wiest describes this moment as a reunion with your highest self, the version of you who always existed beneath the surface, waiting for space, waiting for courage, waiting for the climb. And in this quiet space at the summit, you understand. Everything you struggled with was preparing you for the person you've become. When you descend from the summit, you don't leave the mountain behind. You carry it with you, in your choices, in your strength, in the new story you now believe about yourself. A mountain once blocked your view. Now it lives inside your chest as courage, as wisdom, as resilience. You no longer fear the next mountain that appears. You know what it means now. You know what it's asking. You know what it will make of you. So when life becomes difficult, you won't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" You will ask, "What part of me is this mountain calling forward?" And with a calmer mind and a stronger heart, you will answer the call. Because you are no longer the traveler standing at the base of your life. You are the climber. You are the journey. You are the transformation. And now, the mountain is you.